What's going on, guys? Magdallan here with another episode of Last Epoch. I have made some fairly significant changes to the character. We really struggled with this boss, so I have crafted up some stuff so that our physical resistance is capped. We've also got capped fire and lightning res. And we have switched to the Beast King one-handed axe, which we picked that up quite a while ago. It was just sitting in the inventory in the stash, as well as this set shield that we also just kind of had sitting around that we'd picked up at some point along the way. And I think we switched out and got this item as well, and new boots and new gloves. We managed to more or less end up with about the same DPS, maybe even a little bit higher than what we were at with the two-hander. And then we have made couple changes on the tree. I dropped all the points from counterattack here and grabbed some additional health as well as some block, and then this Aegis, and then we also leveled up twice. I had to farm up just a little bit so all I did was just the zones that preceded this boss room a couple times just to pick up items to break down, so I had crafting mats and whatever. I didn't really want to farm at all to get through the campaign, but I figure we're in chapter 9. It's, we're pretty far into the game at this point, so just having to level up once or twice wasn't a big deal. And we went ahead and grabbed the Void Essence thing here, as well as where is it at? There's also a Void Aegis situation. Am I on the wrong? Let's see. No, there it is. Void Aegis. And it's not a very high chance. I don't actually know how often that's going to proc, but I figure anything we can do to increase our survivability is going to help, because I did a lot of attempts on this boss after that episode, and there just wasn't a way that I could defeat it with the setup that I had. And when I Googled a strategy, I was expecting to see some way that you could skill the boss, and that doesn't seem to be the case. It's just a hard gear check as far as I can tell. And so I have opinions on that as far as game design, but for the purposes of this playthrough, we're just going to kind of get through things the way that it seems like the devs have intended, and we're going to go from there. And we will see if these changes allow us to get through the boss, and if that is not good enough, then frankly I'm not 100% sure what we're going to do other than completely respecking out the character for a bunch of, tank style defensive stuff, which we do have access to. And so that is a route that we could go, but I would find that to be very disappointing. So hopefully the changes that we've made, significant as they are, will allow us to still basically play the same skills that we've been enjoying and make it through this boss. So let's see how it goes. Use a potion there. I'm realizing we did take a hit to our poison resistance, which I had forgotten how much poison there was in this fight. I was essentially ignoring it before. wonder, can we leave that potion on the ground and kind of pick it up later? Oh, man. So it still just ripped us down. I mean, I could have potioned there. But I was hoping that we would have enough sustain to just kind of get through it. Alright. Let's just kind of feel it out a little bit. We were definitely more survivable, but... the difficulty of this is a little bit preposterous compared to the rest of the game so far. Cat's being crazy, jumping around on the desk. We're just gonna have to eat this. Alright, let's see if we can get through it. What? Oh, shit. Oh, come on. What did we have it at? Well, it was more than half dead. Okay. Oh. Okay, that hurts a lot. Oh, shit. See my health. Holy shit. I think that's it. Let's see us being able to heal through it. Oh, we got a potion. Got a couple of them. Did we get it? Oh, sweet release. Okay. Glyph of Despair. Alright. Alright, now that I have defeated the boss, I don't like to make criticisms of game difficulty a whole lot. I mean, when I'm just running through zones, I think it's much more fair to be able to kind of, you know, you can tell whether or not the difficulty makes a lot of sense. But with boss fights, you know, if you haven't been able to defeat the boss, it's pretty easy for somebody to just be like, well, you're just not good enough to beat it or whatever. So having now beat the boss, that is horrible game design. If I wasn't doing the playthrough, I probably would have quit. Not why, because it didn't, the fight didn't get any more interesting, and I didn't feel like if I got better at the video game, that it would have increased my chances of success. The only thing that would have changed my success was just making arbitrary defensive changes to my build. And people are gonna want to play bow builds, and people are gonna want to play glass cannon builds, and there were no bosses up until this point in the game that were hard checks on your build type or your gear. And so, you know, in chapter 9 of the campaign, suddenly telling a new player, oh, by the way, that glass cannon or that whatever build type that you're playing isn't going to work anymore. So now spend 2-3 hours of your time farming or adjusting your build so that you can fight this one boss and then immediately go back to what you were doing before. Not super strong. That was definitely the low point of the game so far, because I don't feel like I triumphed. I feel like there was an arbitrary gear check, and I just did the thing that I had to do, and it wasted a bunch of my time, and was frustrating. And I'm not better at Last Epoch now, as opposed to the first time I walked into that boss fight. And I didn't learn. There weren't any new crafting mechanics that I had to employ. There weren't any new gear types or build archetypes that I didn't know about that I had to explore. It wasn't set up in that way. It was literally as simple as, now you have to come up with a way to be able to deal with this damage. And for me, that's not a super strong way to design a boss fight this late into a campaign. And that is all I will say about that. We will just kind of continue onward from here.
Ah, yes. Farewell.
Well, no, I have one more thing to say. It would be, this for me would be no different than if you were 3/4, 4/5, whatever the way through a campaign, and suddenly there was a boss that just, you can't have mana. You have no mana. And so you just have to change your build into something that costs no mana. Is that good game design? Because, I mean, basically this was set up so that with the character archetype that I had, I pretty much had to switch to a shield in order to be able to do that. There just wasn't, I had to have block, so to speak. All right, now I've complained, I have whined as much as I will whine about that boss, and now that we have completed it, we will continue to play through with as much positivity as we can muster. All right, what do we got going on here? Was that the end of the campaign? Was that the final boss? Was that the last boss? No way. Let's see, maybe we'll try and complete this side quest in this zone and see. Desert treasure. Search for the contact hidden within Joka Swamps. Okay. Guys. It's the way into the Joka proper. So maybe if we kind of continue on, we'll get a quest indicator at some point here. Haven't seen one of these in a while. Health on kill. Void damage. Hey, let's go. Inventory is full. That one up there. Is there something beating us up? Leave me alone. Bam. Damage over time, melee attack speed, chance to poison. Oh, there. Should be able to grab that. Perfect. So did we just do a big circle? Did. Set ring. That we'll take a look at. The Invoker's Static Touch. Alright, so that's kind of a lightning type situation. Alright, I don't want to spend a huge amount of time on a side quest. So let me... Desert Treasure, let's just make sure there's not something really simple that we're missing here. Well, when I look at the quest text, one of them is you've entered the tomb, so maybe we need to go into one of those little side passages. So let's go check that out real quick. So I mean, we only have, what, one? Yeah, one more little thing to unlock. That's really interesting. So what does this give us? Because I think I have a couple on here that don't really do a whole lot. 20 armor, dodge rating, necrotic damage. So like that one, I feel like we can probably just take out. Damage over time. Gain 30 ward when hit. Resistance. Health on kill. That one we want to keep. What about this giant guy? Damage with vengeance. Smite. Yeah, I don't think we really need that. Where's that one we just picked up? Oh, my poor little eyes. Have I lost my goddamn mind? Oh, I didn't pick it up off the ground. Okay. Oh, it's one of these big 3-slot guys. Oops. Oh, it's 4. So here's what I need to do. Move that one. I don't think I need that 3 fire res. So then we can take this guy here, that guy, and put him there. Yep. Our fire res is fine. We can throw that one in there. Cool. Alright. Okay, so this is seems like a tomb type situation. Hidden missive. Which I feel like we did that before. Did we just come through the top way? Or I can't remember. So let's see, maybe there was another thing that we can enter. No, I feel like we did just run this way. Oh, here's another thing that we can go into. Okay. Alright, so that was the desert treasure thing. Oh, it's a shop.
What brings you here?
What do you sell, sir? Okay.
Farewell.
All right, so we completed that one. Very cool. So here, now let's go ahead and see what we need to do to progress the storyline. Well, we've got some side quests to do at the very least, but we're going to go ahead and end the episode here. We have conquered the difficult and frustrating boss. We also completed the last side quest from that particular era, and we will come back in the next one, and either we will dip our toes into the end game if indeed that was the last boss for the campaign, or we'll clean up our side quests and we'll touch on the end game a little bit either way. But if I can figure out where the next main storyline quest is, then we'll continue as normal. But either way, I will see you for at least one more episode. I hope you guys have enjoyed it so far, and I'll see you in the next one. I appreciate you.